Hi everyone, my name's Nick and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about sciatica. If you're over 40 like myself, you may have started to develop some back problems. It's the kind of thing that you assume, like if you're like me, you just assume that it's never going to happen to you. Back problems are for other people, and you just carry on with your life. And then one day, bam, you start getting some symptoms, and you think, oh, it's probably just going to go away. And lo and behold, it doesn't go away by itself. So I want to talk to you in particular about what happened with me and how I managed to completely eliminate all symptoms of sciatica. Now, you may not be aware that you have sciatica. I suggest that you do all the recommended tests. You can go to your doctor and have an MRI scan. And just in short, for those of you that are not aware of the causes of sciatica, it's caused by, usually caused by a herniated disc in your spinal column, and that basically puts pressure on the sciatic nerve. So usually you get presented with two options. One is to effectively take painkillers and hope it kind of, the symptoms fade away. And the other option is a bit more extreme, which is to have surgery. But no one really talks about how you can cure it by yourself by doing some simple exercises. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So without further ado, let's talk about how you can actually get rid of these symptoms of sciatica once and for all. So if you do a search online for videos or any other information about relief from sciatica, you usually come across videos that talk about how to alleviate the pain and sort of stretching and various other things. And believe me, I mean, I've tried everything. And while you can get temporary relief from the symptoms, the cause of the problem is still there. And eventually the symptoms are going to return in one form or another. And unfortunately, you end up just sort of resigning yourself to thinking that you're going to have to live with this condition. It can be extremely annoying. It can be uncomfortable, but in the worst case, it can actually be extremely painful, and it can cause all sorts of problems such as loss of sleep, discomfort, and all sorts of other things. So really, although you can watch other videos that tell you how to deal with the pain relief element, what I want to concentrate on is the solution that worked for me. So I first had sciatica about 3 or 4 years ago, and I did what everybody does. I went online. I tried to find out what the problem was. I initially thought I had pulled a muscle or something like that, because quite often the pain is sort of down your legs and you don't associate that necessarily with any back issues. So having done a bit of research, it seemed that I had sciatica symptoms. So I went to my GP and she prescribed an MRI scan. I went, got the MRI scan, and she confirmed, yes, you have sciatica. And that was the end of the story. It was basically, well, there you go, have some paracetamol and that's it, get on with your life. And, I just didn't want to leave it there. It was bugging me. Some days it was quite bad. And it got to the stage where at one point it was affecting my sleep. So I had to sleep in a certain position all night. Otherwise, I would get woken up. So I did lots and lots and lots of research. And this one set of exercises actually worked for me. And when I say it worked for me, it was so quick that I could not have hoped for a better result in a shorter amount of time. And I was able to completely get rid of the symptoms of sciatica once and for all, and they never came back. And I'm going to show you today what those exercises are. So I've actually shot a separate video of me demonstrating these exercises. So I'm going to cut to that video and I'll explain to you how to do these exercises. And I hope that this will be useful to you and will help you get rid of your sciatica symptoms as well. Happy watching. So there are 5 different exercises We start on a yoga mat, lying down on your back. Bend the knees and feet on the floor and arms down by your side. The first exercise is the hip raise. So you raise your hips towards the ceiling to keep your back in line with your legs and hold that for a few seconds at the top. And this is done for 10 reps. The next position involves laying your left leg down so that it's flat on the floor and doing a leg and hip raise, one leg at a time. So it's a similar movement. This time you're keeping your right leg as before, your right foot on the floor, and you're lifting your left leg up initially. The knee comes towards your tummy, and then once it's at 90 degrees to the ground, once your upper leg is at 90 degrees to the ground, you do a similar movement where you thrust your hip upwards, and then you hold that position for a few seconds before reversing the action and lowering your hip back down to the ground and then extending your leg. We do exactly the same for the other leg, so swapping legs. This time the right leg is extended straight out to begin with, and the left knee comes up with your left foot on the floor, and then the right leg starts with a movement towards the tummy to create a 90-degree angle with the upper leg and the ground, and then thrusting the hip upwards and holding that for a few seconds. Again, 10 reps on each leg. For the third exercise, we lie on our front. It's called the half Superman. So lying on your tummy, extending your legs out and extending one arm out at a time with the opposite leg extended out as well. So you start with your head sort of in line with your body, looking at the ground, and as you raise your arms and legs, you bring up your head and look straight ahead. We do 10 reps of this before we do the full Superman, which is the fourth exercise. This is slightly easier. We are still extending our arms and our legs as before and raising our head as we do so. But this time it's both arms and both legs at the same time, which is slightly easier to do than the half Superman. Again, 10 reps. So the fifth and final exercise is the forward bend. Quite simply, standing straight with your legs a shoulder's width apart. You then lean forward with the top half of your body, keeping your legs straight towards the ground, so pointing with your fingertips towards the ground, lowering your head but keeping your neck looking sort of in line with your body, so looking straight ahead. Keep looking straight ahead, and just from a different angle so you can see the movement. And once again, that's 10 reps, and as we get to the end of the 10 reps, that's the end of this set of exercises. So what did you think of the exercises that I demonstrated? Hopefully you found them useful. Either way, just let me know in the comments below and I'll do my best to reply to as many as possible. So the next thing I wanted to talk about really was, why do these exercises make a difference? And it's, again, the one area that's not really covered in any great detail I've found through my research. And it's not necessarily something that your doctor will recommend. You can obviously go to a professional, disclaimer alert, I'm not a doctor. I've tried to get medical advice for this condition. It didn't work for me. And I found my own solution. So that's what I'm sharing with you today. And the most important thing is, before you do try any of the exercises that I've demonstrated or suggested, that you do seek professional medical advice to make sure that they're appropriate for your individual situation. So getting back to why they work. So the back is extremely complex, but it's effectively a series of muscles. And what the exercises do is they actually strengthen the muscles internally inside your back that you can't really see very easily. And what that does is it stabilizes the core of your back, it strengthens your back and gives it really good stability. And what that does is it compensates for this issue with, say, the herniated disc, which is causing pressure on your sciatic nerve. So it's a case of training the muscle just like anything else. Now, the important thing to remember is that once you have used these exercises and you've relieved your symptoms, you can't stop there. So the first step is to incorporate these exercises into your daily routine. Personally, I do it first thing in the morning after I've woken up and I've had just a drink of water. I get on with my exercises. Now, in the demonstration, I've shown you one set, which takes about 5 minutes. There's no point in rushing them. Do them at your pace, but I take about 5 minutes to do each set, and I do either 2 or sometimes 3 sets every morning. So it's between 10 and 15 minutes first thing in the morning, which I'm sure you can agree everyone has the time to squeeze those 10 minutes in, if it means that it's going to change the quality of life by removing this sciatica pain and the symptoms of sciatica. So it's very easy to incorporate into your daily routine. And the important thing to remember is that if you suddenly decide, oh, I'm cured now, I don't need to bother with my 10 minutes of exercise, back exercise in the morning, it's going to come and bite you very quickly. If you stop, you're probably fine for a couple of weeks. I'm just, again, giving you my own experience. But say if you go away on holiday or something like that, that's absolutely fine. It's not always easy to remember to do your exercises when you're on holiday, or depending on what accommodation you have, you may not have enough space to do them. But generally speaking, if you can keep them going even when you're away, then that's great. If you stop them for a week or two, it's not going to make too much of a difference. But what I did after 3 years of doing them almost every single day, I started to do other exercises. I'll talk about those in a different video, but I've been incorporating other types of exercise, such as yoga or something else. And I had to choose, oh, should I do yoga today or should I do the back exercises? So I started alternating them. And then I gave a bit more kind of priority to the yoga and less to the back exercises. And within the space of 3 to 4 weeks of doing that, the sciatica started to come back. Now, when I say it started to come back, it was nothing like it was at the beginning. it was a very, very mild symptom, which I realized straight away was completely of my own doing because I'd simply stopped training my back muscles. And your body tells you, if you're not looking after it, it's going to tell you. So I got straight back into my back strengthening exercises. I left the yoga to one side. I still do the yoga, but now I do prioritize the back strengthening exercises because that's what my body needs. Again, you have to listen to what your body tells you. Sometimes you can do one set, that's going to be fine. Some people need to do 3 to 4 sets. That's entirely up to you to discover for yourself. I'm just here to guide you and above all to let you know what has worked for me. So I'd like to end by thanking you for watching this video. Once again, I hope I've been able to provide some useful information, and if you think it's appropriate to follow these exercises, then feel free to let me know how you got on below, and I look forward to hearing from you. Take care. All the best. Thanks again for watching my video. I hope it was useful. Feel free to leave any comments below. And if you like the video, then please hit the like button, and also feel free to subscribe to stay up to date with any new videos that may be of interest. The exercises that I demonstrated today were shown just as one set. If you would like to follow along and do 2 full sets of the exercises in an uncut version of the video, where you just basically sit there and follow along to the exercises, then there's a link to the video, which is hopefully up here, that you can click on next, and you can watch that video and follow along in real time without any commentary. Thanks again. Take care.